Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back to Brickrigs. Once again, we are here on the grid map, so you can assume what's coming next if you haven't by the title. I don't know whether I alluded to it in the previous diorama, but I was working on a bigger metro diorama for Fallout. That was sort of like the test to see how the metro held up. And the metro's held up quite well, and as you can tell from the FPS counter in the top of the screen, if it shows up, there is a bit of lag, and that's because this thing is nearly 12,000 pieces, which causes a bit of lag, as you can see. If I put it in slow-mo, it doesn't really do anything, but if I turn around, you recognise that, and then we look up, and it's a bit bigger than the metro. Yeah, it's like a cross section basically. Since we started the last video as the metro, because that is what the video was about, that's what the diorama was about. Let's start it above ground, shall we? So I've got something different down in the metro, and you'll see that soon, TM. However, let's first go over everything that's above ground, because there's a lot going on above and below ground. I'm very happy with how these things turned out. This always happens, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's to do with how this thing was built. I don't know how I've managed to do it, but for some reason it says everything's connected, and then it spawns in and it goes, yeah, actually no, I'm just going to pop this thing off. So yeah, even with the strongest material, it always just pops off. I don't know why, but hey, adds to the scenery. So above ground, we've got this cross section. Basically, you've got the main metro entrance over there, and you've got this cross junction, which, as you can see, has got a variety of cars scattered around it. These are, again, all my own builds. If you've been following me on the workshop, you'll have noticed these things on there. But basically, we've got the Corvega Atomic V8, and we've got a Fusion Flea. I just made these models up very quickly. You can't sit in them. There's no proper seats. If we just about look in here, you can see the seats are here in form, but not in functionality. And that's because I wasn't trying to make cars. These cars, they're pretty ugly from the front. They are not, the art of things level of detail. And that's because I wanted them to be very low poly, basically, very low brick count, for this exact reason, because I was planning on doing this when I built the metro. I was like, right, after this I'm going to build the biggest thing I've built, the biggest diorama that I've built in terms of height. It's not largest in terms of width. That probably goes to, for Fallout base, that goes to the Mojave Outpost, but then for overall my entire Brickrigs career, as it were, that honour would have to go to the fold-out Rainbow Road for Mario Kart that I made, because you have to literally fold out the track. But for this, yeah, I've been working hard on this for several days, probably 20 plus hours getting all this sorted, which is a lot when you think about it. I could be doing far more important things with my time, but as it is, I've now done this, and I'm very happy with it. So you've got, 4 quadrants basically, each of which have got something different in it. You've of course got the metro in one side, you've got this builder area in the other opposite quadrant, or well, diagonally opposite, and then for the other 2 quadrants you've just got large, like, office type buildings. Wasn't too sure what to do in this because it's quite small, so instead I just copy pasted basically another structure. So since this is the smallest and since we're closest to it, we'll go into this one first. You will notice all the cars are different colours. I did change the colourings of all of these cars to make them seem unique, and you can enter this office way basically with just through this broken piece of glass, which is to highlight it, because this is all glass, you can't actually walk through this. To highlight that this is how you enter it, I've just put pieces of rubble basically to make you go, what's this, and then you walk through. It's a doorway. So that's basically that. You can walk around all of these places. These office buildings have got like dividers, and they've got reused assets basically from the Mojave outpost, whereby you just sort of do all this, and you can sit in it and everything. And yeah, we've got a terminal. You know, we've just got a nice terminal here, which is obviously turned off. It's obviously broken. So yeah, there's that. You've got a Nuka-Cola bottle. You've also got a bottle of Quantum right there. Very nice. And then you can walk around here, come to our first skeleton of the build, which is this guy who's just sitting down, and he's got a Nuka-Cola right there. You've got two more Nuka-Colas here, and you've got another office layout, grey suit guy, as I call him, and another Nuka-Cola just hidden under the desk. That was the last piece. That was the last small build that I added to this big build to finish it off. So that is the final piece right there. So hey, there's that. And then of course these pieces are all just made up of glass. And then to top it off, because I didn't know what to do for it, I just sort of made them all look a bit jagged. You will notice that these things are copy-pasted. If you look, the pattern does eventually repeat itself. To save time, I just sort of copy and pasted and got rid of the bits that were left over. Because at this point, I was so nearly there, and I was like, let's just finish this. Let's just get it out. So the roads are, I believe, 24 studs wide, and then you've got 2 high walkways, sidewalks as the Americans call them, or pavements as we say in England, the proper way. That's upset all the Americans now. But yeah, so you've got another Corvega just right here. We'll leave the main upper part for the actual living people, and we'll head over here to an area which I was going to have like a building under construction, but then I looked at my brick count and I was like, that's not happening. So instead I just reused assets again. I put more of these, what would you call them, roadside barriers, I guess, builder barriers from the Enclave, smaller diorama. I just reused assets again. And yeah, I just sort of walled off this area, and I was like, right, I'll put a crane there. So I put the crane there, and I was like, that hasn't quite taken up as much space as I would have thought. So what did I do? I built some shipping containers and stuck them down, and I was like, they were going to build something, and then the bombs hit. There you go. So inside here we've got 3 protectrons, you've got 2 nail gun protectrons, and you've got 1 which has got lifter arms right there. All of them are partly rusted due to 200 plus years of sitting outside. And then you've got these shipping containers, which I'm very happy with. I think these shipping containers have come out really nice. And to keep with the Fallout theme, and because they looked a bit bland, I just put wicked shipping on them and made them all rusty. So round the back here, you can see, well, you can't really see because it's in shadow, but in here we've got 2 Nuka-Cola Darks. So if you want that alcoholic Nuka-Cola, there it is, Nuka-Cola Dark, hidden on one side of the shipping container. That's an odd piece of yellow to put there. Yellow reflection of the light, maybe? Probably from that. Yes, we'll call it that and move on. So yeah, you've got another shipping container right there. Around the back of the crane, very interesting, super sledge. Don't know who would be using a super sledge in construction, but hey, here it is. So you can sort of parkour your way onto the top of these shipping containers if you are skilled enough. Alternatively, you can look inside of the crane here. Light is obviously off, and then you can sit in the crane. Passenger seat, can't do anything. I also forgot to cut that off. I'll do that later on. Yeah, because you're not meant to be able to move that. But hey, there you go. So yeah, there's that. There's the crane. You've also got just some random boxes here with some Nuka-Cola just lying next to them. So looting opportunity. You'll have various bits and pieces in here. Nails, who knows? Another Nuka-Cola Dark just sitting on top of the crane there. The other door you can't enter. I need to really sort that out. You shouldn't be able to move the crane like that. I'll do that afterwards. And then we come to this building over here, which is probably the most interesting building. You've got a door, so you use the door. Bam, there you go. Door is open. Clips into the cabinets a bit, but it's fine. It just works. Okay, don't question it. It just works. So in here, you've got a lot more office spaces, as you can see, and also the main attraction. being a vertibird, and I've got to get rid of those exhausts. So yeah, and then we come to the first of the cubicles. In here you've got a terminal which is off, unpowered. You also have a dead lady which I'm walking on, sorry lady. But yeah, so you've got a skeleton there, you've got a Nuka-Cola right there. Is there anything under the desk? No, because you can't really see. The sun's not quite in the best position to see under the desks. And then we come over here. Chair is on its side. Again, you can sit in it. Don't know why you would, but hey, you can. It's a feature, not a bug, alright. And then we've got another grey suit guy. Yeah, don't worry about it, it's a company uniform. And he has got, a terminal. It's on. So there you go, you can log on and learn about this place. Or indeed, possibly even about the vertibird, depends on who you would want to have access to this terminal. You could either have it before the bombs dropped, and you learn about the building, who was using it, or it's post the vertibird crashing, and you find out why the military guys were here, and tap, 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 and you find out. And then, of course, we've got a quantum right there as your reward, as well as a regular Nuka-Cola. And for those of you who prefer the sweet taste of sunset sarsaparilla, as opposed to the slight radioactive buzz of Nuka-Cola, you have got a small stash of sunset sarsaparillas under here. Now, in Fallout New Vegas, sunset sarsaparilla is my jam. I drink sunset sarsaparillas all the time because for the pure reason of they don't give you rads, Nuka-Cola does. But in Fallout 3 and everything, it's cola or nothing. Nuka or nothing, to quote the Nerf logo. The Nerf slogan, but slightly changed. But yeah, so there's that. You've got just a small stash of sunset sarsaparilla under there for you to go ahead and loot. Now, Mr. Gutsy, yes. So because this is a military crashed vertibird and it's got some decent loot, it is well protected. There are a total of 3 Mr. Gutsies, and also everyone's favourite, an Assaultron. So you have to be pretty high level, or at least have lots of very good gear and some healing items if you want to loot this crashed vertibird. You do, of course, have all of these shelving units to loot, as well as all of the containers, containers as in desks to loot, so you've got plenty of looting opportunity there to get caps, rounds possibly, who knows what employees have got in their desks, so plenty of looting. But then you can also destroy, at some point hopefully, this thing before it kills you. So you can destroy the Assaultron and also the Mr. Gutsies, loot them, and then you come to the main loot, which is of course the vertibird. As for the other desks, there's nothing much happening. There's a Nuka-Cola right there, and a couple more sunset sarsaparillas right there as well, and another terminal which is off. And then you've got a desk here which has been moved by the crashed vertibird, as well as the chair. And then we've got one more desk which is just sort of out here, obviously being chucked by the vertibird crashing. So yeah, you've got some robots here as your enemy for this area, as well as Mr. Gutsies rather. And then we come to the main loot of the vertibird. You've got one dead army guy right here, a bottle of Nuka-Cola, and also a full suit, partly rusted, of T-45 power armor. So yeah, very good place, very good idea to come loot this place, because you get some good loot out of it. However, it's very difficult to fight, obviously, due to the Assaultrons and the Mr. Gutsies. And that is just a random encounter basically out there. Don't worry about it, we'll look at that in a moment. Second dead army guy is right there. You've got one military trunk right here with some good high-end loot, most likely. Couple of Nuka-Colas. A minigun just landed on the ground. Minigun is from the vertibird, by the way. That's why that's there, because vertibirds tend to have mounted miniguns on them. So why wouldn't you be able to loot it? So there it is. And then coming around here, second military trunk. So yeah, plenty of loot in there. Third and final dead guy, so you'd obviously have the 2 pilots, which are either of these, and then the guy in the power armor using the minigun. So yeah, there's that. And then the final Mr. Gutsy, who would no doubt be roaming the rest of the building along with more military robots. But for now, this little snippet is what we've got. And if you're wondering where the alien blaster is, because I like hiding the alien blaster in every diorama somewhere, I didn't show it in the previous Metro thing, but here it is in this one. It's just inside the crashed vertibird. So there's that, and I'll try and show it off in the previous diorama, which I didn't show. Sorry about that. In hindsight. But yeah, if I remember, I'll show that. And then we come to the final thing of note above ground, which is the encounter that's happening right here. So what we've got here is we have got Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, and we have got some Enclave troops. The Enclave troops are aided by 2 iBots, as you can see, one there and one over here. There he is. So we've got 2 of them, and we also have got 3 advanced power armor guys, aka power armor Mark II, I think they are, aka basic Enclave boys. And then we've got a guy in Hellfire power armor with the coveted heavy flamer. Is it? Man, I've forgotten. I think it's the heavy flamer, although I could be wrong. No, heavy incinerator. That's it. So yeah, he's got a heavy incinerator. And yes, all of these models have been reused from previous dioramas, because at this point I just wanted this diorama to be done and dusted. I was so close. I'd done pretty much everything. I just had to do some details and put the people in. So I wanted to just get it done, and so yeah, here we are. So what we've got is, again, yes, reused assets, but basically you can either think of this 2 ways. Either A, the Brotherhood of Steel is retreating down into the metro system, or they are coming back up from the metro system to push the Enclave back. Depends on whose side you're going to be, but in my eyes it was meant to be the Brotherhood are going down into the metro system, because as you look, these 2 are beating a quick retreat down into the metro. As you can see, his flame is slightly going into the wall there, but it's not a bug, it's a feature, alright? So yes, we've got the Hellfire Enclave power armor guy here, who's very cool. I was very happy to be able to reuse this guy because he just looks cool. He looks menacing. Look at him. You wouldn't want that bearing down on you as a random guy in the wasteland. This guy is a new setup. I just had to adjust his arm slightly to hold the laser rifle. Technically should be a plasma rifle, but I don't have any models for those, so laser rifle it'll have to be. So you've got him, and again, from the Enclave diorama, we've got this guy, who is pretty badass. He's got his super sledge on his back and his laser rifle in his hands, ready to do some business, so they're sort of just advancing up cautiously. And then this guy is from the Brotherhood of Steel diorama, as is the... actually, no, he isn't. He is. So, yes, he's from the Brotherhood of Steel diorama, and I just turned his head slightly, so he's looking better at the Brotherhood. But then, yeah, he's just advancing up with his laser rifle to get into a better position, most likely behind this car, to shoot at the Brotherhood. So yeah, that's the Enclave side. The Enclave do have slightly more firepower due to having 2 more iBots and the heavy flamer, or heavy incinerator. But then we come to the Brotherhood, our boys in power armor, to quote 3Dog every time. So yeah, now we come to the real meat of the wasteland, the Brotherhood. They are my favourite faction, and then the NCR. Lots of people don't like the NCR, which I can understand, but you know, Brotherhood it is then. So we've got this guy. I just added a laser pistol to his hand, and he is reused from the Brotherhood of Steel diorama. He has got the Brotherhood banner on him to let the Enclave know that they are not afraid. And he's got his laser rifle on his back for in case he has to drop the banner and defend himself. He can plant the banner into the ground and take out his laser rifle and start blasting those damn Enclave. So yes, there's him. He's most likely the leader in T51, and he is there looking menacing, ready to deal some business. And then we've got the other guy. This guy is cool. I love how this guy turned out with the Gatling laser. He looks menacing, and he is perched in a pretty good position behind the metro sign, which is massive, just concrete structure. Nothing's getting through that. So he's in a very good position. He can just blast away with his Gatling laser and blast at those cars and blow them up and kill all of the Enclave. So the Brotherhood are in the better tactical position, I have to say. This guy isn't. The car can explode and kill him quite easily. But this guy, he's in a very good position. There's no cars nearby that can blow him up, whereas the Enclave are advancing through the car minefield, basically. So, yeah, we've got this guy, and then we've got him with his railway rifle. So yeah, he's got a railway rifle, and he is doing a brave Sir Robin and running away. Although it's not running away in the Brotherhood, it is tactically retreating. So he is tactically retreating himself into the subway for a better tactical position, I assume. And then we've got the final guy who is in T60. It's not quite Fallout 3, but hey, these are Fallout 4 power armor models, so who are we to say? And he has got the heavy flamer. He is from the Brotherhood diorama, as is that guy, I believe. Yeah, they're all from the Brotherhood diorama. They have to be, because there weren't any Brotherhood in the Enclave diorama. But yeah, so here he is with his flamer. It's all souped up, ready to go if need be. He's most likely going to get down to the bottom there, or halfway down, let the other Brotherhood members follow up, and then when the Enclave come around the corner, burn him up with his flamer. So yeah, there's his tactic for that. And that's pretty much it. As for the metro station, I think the cover has come out very well. It looks a lot like the actual Fallout 3 in-game metro stations that you find, as does the sign. The sign has come out very well. This whole portion has come out very well, in my opinion, as well as the runners. You've got the runners down the side for you to obviously hold on to the handrails, and then you've got steps which are not very steep, actually. To be honest, they're a good steepage. As you can see, there's the metro sign, looking very nice, looking like the in-game model. You've got a small step up for some steps to go down. And yes, you can descend into the dark, dingy metro. Everyone knows the metros are inhabited by scum and villainy. You'll never find a more wretched hive of them down here. Super mutants, ghouls, raiders, you know, rad roaches, whatever you want, it's down here in the sewer. So we leave the bright sunshine for now. Say goodbye to the sun, to the smell of radiation in the air, and get ready for the stench of more radiation and death and scum and villainy. So you come past here, and oh, it looks very interesting in there. I wonder what's in there. And well, what's in there is basically ticket office. So you would obviously pre-war have to come through here, and you would buy your ticket from the guy sitting in the booth with his terminal, and you would then descend down into the metro. But we're going to have a look inside of his little perch right now. So you come through the door. Yes, there is enough room for you to get by, just about. But yes, you can get through. You've got the Protectron station right here with a Metro Protectron. He's currently not activated, but someone can easily come through. Use the wall terminal. Yeah, that's right, wall terminal. Looking very suave. So yeah, wall terminal. Beep, 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 beep. Do the little hack and activate the Protectron, and you can get your own little buddy. And then you've got a rather rusted set of drawers there. I was going to do that for these. Where are they? Yes, these. But I basically couldn't be bothered. And then we come to the actual ticket booth. You've got Nuka-Cola right there. You've got the terminal here, so you can read up about what was going on in the metro before the bombs. And that is a Nuka-Cola victory. Yes, I haven't done one of those, I don't think, before. But yeah, basing it off of... I try not to use the models that are currently on the workshop, because then I would have to, you know, go through the whole having permission to use them and stuff. So if these look the same as the other guy in the workshop, they most likely are, just not intentionally. I'm just going off of the wiki, and how whatever they look on the wiki in the picture is how I try and recreate them here. So they have got a like thin strip of paper showing what Nuka-Cola brand, or well, what Nuka-Cola flavour they are, and to my eyes this is how the Nuka-Cola victory looks. So there's that, and then you've got a couple of Nuka-Cola's regulars right there. But yeah, the main reason for coming in here, picking the lock and doing everything in here is to get the victory, because you can't get in here otherwise. So yeah, Nuka-Cola victory right there, all nice and glowing to catch your attention. So you would come through here and the stairs, and prepare yourselves for what is going to be around this corner, because we have seen the metro in raider form. We've seen what it looks like when raiders have inhabited it. We haven't seen it how you're going to see it here. Now, I have to say, I'm very proud of how the metro has turned out once again. I thought it looked great as raiders, and it does. But wait till you see what's down here. Yes, this looks familiar and also quite different at the same time. Hanging skinned bodies, heads on spikes, made out of metal, metal spikes with blood on them. Yes, super mutants have taken over this station. So the Brotherhood think they're getting away from one enemy and they're running straight into another. You've got gore bags, which I'm very happy with. These, well, I'm not very happy because they're gore bags, but very happy with how the gore bags turned out. I have used the hexagon paint for these gore bags to make it look like the actual, metal. Would you call them metal, or like the rope bags? And then inside is just dark red to show bits of body and blood and stuff. So you've got some hanging bodies from the ceiling, gore bags hanging from the ceiling. You come around here, there's a gore bag just sitting on the floor. They are actually pretty good for looting like small amounts of caps and ammo though, so gore bags can be useful in some ways other than killing the super mutants. So yeah, you come through here, heads on spikes, you've got more metal spikes here, you've got more spikes here and there, you've got a body on a pike, and because this is made out of rusted metal and not wood like the raiders, it actually looks like dripping blood, which is quite morbid, but at the same time a nice effect. And as for lanterns, I did actually change the lanterns to be lights rather than glow bricks, because glow bricks apparently don't emit light. You'd have thought that they would because they're glow bricks, but no, they're not. But yeah, so you've got another body on a pike there. You've got a lantern, you've got a gore bag right here, which is partly into the floor. It's a bug, not a it's a feature, not a bug. Don't worry about it. And then you've got nothing over this end, because why would super mutants want this end when they've got all this defense? And then of course you've got the regular tunnels back through to the other parts of the metro, and then you've got the escalators. So there's another bloody pike right there. And you can actually walk down these ones. They have barricaded them off like the raiders. So you can wander down here and you can meet your friends, the super mutants. Yeah, tyres. I think the tyres have come out very well, because the super mutants do tend to have like one pauldron made out of a tyre for some reason. And then they've got bits of metal just on their chest, and then some of them have got better armour, such as those two, which we will look at. But this is the basic super mutant. He's got his little shorts on. He's got yellow skin, because they are the Fallout 3 models of super mutants I was going off of, and he's got a super sledge, and he is not afraid to use it. I even breezed past our hero. So our hero is actually the boy from Vault 101. He's got Fallout 4 style of armour. This is full military armour, which I've put into aluminium, not that you can tell, but to make it seem a little bit better than plastic. This is actually made out of aluminium, but you can't really tell. But yeah, I have gone with, again, the Fallout 4 style of armour clothing, so he has got bits of green military armour all over him, and he's got a military helmet and stuff, and he has also got an AER-14, the better laser rifle, basically, from Fallout 3 or New Vegas. I can't remember which one, but it's one of them. And so yeah, he's got the AER-14 right there. So yeah, we've got our main hero right here, and he is busy picking off super mutants before the Brotherhood come down and bring a whole load of Enclave to him. So he's going to be busy. Hope he has enough ammo for that AER-14. But yeah, I've just got him kneeling. I think that's come out decently enough, as I could have hoped for. And yeah, he's kneeling and he's looking over, and it looks pretty cool. You know, it works. It works for him. And then you come down here, you've got yeah, more gore bags. You've got more lanterns as well. Don't worry about that. That's definitely a feature and not a bug. I don't know why it's done that. It's just exploded. I don't know why it's done that. I'll have to have a look. There's gore everywhere. That's not the intention. Oh no, what's happened to it? I think it's actually fallen down. Has it? No, because there's the pole there. Strange. I'll have to reposition it and see how it happens. But yeah, that's definitely a feature. Yeah. But let's move on to this side. So, because I hadn't used enough of the hanging parts of the gore bags and stuff, yeah, there's more hanging gore bags, more hanging bodies, and for people coming this way down the metro tunnels, this is what you're greeted with. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. More metal poles, more heads on spikes, and more hanging bodies, and the feature, not a bug.
And then we've got down this side the trains. I've repositioned the train so it's not a direct copy paste from the Metro as before. But you've got some more metal spikes right here. You've got some more metal poles as well, and one more head-on spike for good measure. So there's that. And of course you can get to it from various means. Down here there's nothing actually. I was going to add more, but then I looked at the brick count again and I was like, yeah, we're not fitting anything more down here. We've got enough. We've got enough down here. Not everything has to be crammed full of stuff. Just most of it. And as for down here, I didn't mean for this to represent the or to be a kind of copy-paste from the Raider scenario, but I just think that this platform right here is just perfect for putting like little emplacements. So this is another emplacement. It's not quite as sprawling as the Raider emplacement, and it is made out of proper metal because super mutants tend to have proper metal rather than just the Raiders who just have bits of tire and, you know, rusty metal and stuff. So yeah, you've got these two super mutants here. You've got another guy here, another super mutant who is pointing at the Lone Wanderer and going, "Rah!" or however the mutants sound. But he's got another super sledge because they tend to use super sledges as well as bullet weapons, more so. But they do use like scatter laser rifles and stuff like that. So all of the weapons that they're using here are used by super mutants. Actually, I believe they use super sledges. I think they're quite affinitive with super sledges. Actually, these super mutants. So you've got two of them with them. You've got one super mutant who is one rank up from the regulars. I don't know what they're called though. I think it might be a super mutant skirmisher. I'm not too sure. But he's got a minigun, as you do. You tend to find super mutants with miniguns, so he's got that there. I realised I haven't put any ammo boxes in any of the Fallout dioramas that I've done, and there are a bunch of them scattered around in all the maps. So I've decided to add them on here. So you've got some military ammo boxes right there. You've got this guy with a rocket launcher, which has come out very well. He really does look like he's holding that rocket launcher. So yeah, he's like the first model that I've actually managed to get right to actually hold the rocket launcher, which is quite a feat, I feel. So yeah, here's him. You've of course got various spikes and heads on spikes, and you've also got a couple more lanterns and some bodies on a spike right there. And then you've got our final super mutant, who has just got a laser rifle, and he is just walking along and he's ready to put some shots on the move up at the Lone Wanderer in his armoured vault suit. So yeah, there he is. He's just heading forwards, and that's all of the super mutants. Only 5, like the Raiders, but I mean, it's nearly 12,000 bricks, people, come on. And because they hadn't actually got anything other than the super mutants, I added in a cooking station. And here is the second of the Nuka-Cola victories. And also something new, Nuka-Cola grape. So yeah, you've got the one Nuka-Cola grape that I've used is right here, and you've got another victory, as well as a couple more regular Nuka-Colas and the same cooking station, because it's a good design. So there it is. We'll head to the 2 carriages that you can properly enter, and then the third you can technically enter. You just can't technically leave. So yeah, let's head into this station. You can into this carriage rather. You can get to it from this side. You can just walk along the tracks, as you can see, and just hop into it from the side here. That's obviously how the super mutants get out into the rest of the system. So right here you've just got a little display, I suppose you could say, of gore bags. So yeah, you've just got a couple of grounded gore bags right there, and another hanging body, and a lantern. Because why the hell not? Come down here, there's nothing much. Seats which you can all sit in, and you've got a military trunk. So, you know, good idea to clear out the station. You get a trunk. And you also get this thing here. You know, just a crate. Could have ammo in it, could have anything. And you've got some regular ammo boxes. And you can also get out through the back, as you can see. Hop out of the back of the train. Then you've got a wooden board placed by the super mutants into the second carriage, which is the more run down of the two. You've got a dead soldier with a laser pistol, and also with a crate of ammo for it, most likely. You've got a lantern placed by the super mutants, and you've got a Nuka-Cola Quantum. Yay! So there you go. You've got a nice Quantum to loot right there. You head down down the station, not down the station or the platform, down the train, and you come to the second gore bag, which has just got a couple of ammo boxes and another lantern, and then you could walk out onto the end of the station and head back down here to where the spikes are. And that is about it, I believe, for this diorama. It's very big, very sprawling. It's probably the biggest thing that I've made in terms of height and as a diorama. I can't remember if there's anything else. There is something that I forgot though, which is this carriage right here, the overturned one. Now, if we were playing Fallout, you can crouch in Fallout. You could enter through this way and head all the way back down to the end. But in Brick there is no crouching. And because this thing is overturned, and it's got a dead flashing light because it is the most run down of all of the trains, as you can see, lots of rust on the top of the train here. Because you can't technically enter it through the sides, which you would be able to in Fallout. As you can see, I can jump on it perfectly fine. I am sort of hovering right there, but I could technically crawl in here. I could crouch and enter in here. But there is no crouching in Brick, so we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, and that is just sort of walk up walls in order to do this and do some parkour. There you go. And you can jump on top. Now, you can jump on top of the train, and like I said, you can technically enter it. You just can't technically leave. And that's all to do with not being able to crouch. So, as you can see, boop, I am now inside the train. If I try and leave, no, you can't leave. You are now trapped. I'm sorry, you are now trapped. I could add something down here, something could have fallen, but you can technically crouch in Fallout, so technically you can exit, but in Brick you can't. But this is a very interesting carriage to enter, and it's a good carriage to enter as well, because you have got, heading down here, another grey suit guy with a briefcase, which could contain something. 2 Nuka-Colas. Sorry, no, I'm wrong. I remember. This is a Vim bottle. This is a Nuka-Cola bottle. This guy is obviously testing the 2 flavours, because down at the end of the carriage you can see a very interesting chap. And obviously Grey Suit Guy has bought a Vim from him, or had one of the freebies from him. He has his Nuka-Cola, and he is testing out the differences to see how they taste. So yeah, we've got Grey Suit Guy, we've got Random Dead Guy, because, you know, Random Dead Guy, I wanted to just add a bit of, you know, immersion to this carriage by adding this other skeleton, and he's got a briefcase, most likely his briefcase, which when the train overturned, his briefcase was just jumbled around up in the baggage area right here. And then we go past all of the destroyed lights, and we come to the most interesting part of this carriage, and that is Vim Guy, Vim Employee Guy. And he was most likely camping out in this carriage, just doing the circuit around the metro, and basically just trying to sell Vim to people, or at least make people aware of Vim, to try and counteract Nuka-Cola as being the dominating drink in this part of the pre-war US. So we've got a good selection of Vim flavours. As you can see, we've got a couple of Vim refreshers right here, some regular Vims scattered around. We've got a Vim Captain's Blend, and we have also got Vim Quartz. Around here as well there is something else. I can't really get the camera around. Let's see. Here you go. This is a decent enough angle. As you can see right here, he's got another bottle of Vim just underneath his arm. And so I don't think there's anything else. No, he's just sitting on a chair. So yeah, that's it for Vim Guy. But that is a lot of Vim. You've got something of every drink represented here in the Fallout universe. You have got Vim as a company, you've got Sunset Sarsaparilla as a drink, and you've got Nuka-Cola as a company. This diorama does have it all. So there it is. And again, technically you could crawl out and exit, but as it is, Brick doesn't have that, so you just have to teleport out. But that is it for the biggest diorama that I've done in terms of height. In terms of length, Mojave Outpost. But in terms of height, and possibly even immersion, this thing takes the cake. Because you can actually exit from the metro and, look at this light. Oh we're blinded. We're blinded by the light now after being down in that damp, dark, horrible metro. But yeah, there it is. So that's it for this little diorama. I say little, look at it. It's massive. Just look at the size of it. Again, I say again, nearly 12,000 pieces. But I did say that I would show. I did say that I would show the previous metro diorama and show where the what's happened. There you go. Oh, look at that, lag-free. Look at that. Look at how smooth it is. And if you don't believe me, 12,000 pieces. There it is. 11,907 pieces out of this. I mean, look at how massive it is. Let me just adjust the gore bag because I still don't know why it's doing this. There you go. So we'll just boop. This is what I have to do, by the way, to put this sort of stuff in. In fact, let me do that. There we go. So that's now done. We'll just put it on here. Why not? That should stop it from exploding. So yeah, there it is, and we'll just adjust this one as well. So this is some behind the scenes right now. This is what you don't normally see. What's that attached to? It'll do. There you go. There you go. That should address all of the problems other than the cars, but the cars I can't do anything about. But yeah, so there's that. Now I did say that I would show the previous Metro diorama. Metro, there we go. So there's that. There's this one. Wait for it to load. A relatively smooth 5,000 pieces, which is nowhere near as much. But if you're wondering where the where it is, the alien blaster, it's underneath one of these wheels. I can't remember where. At least I'm fairly certain it's underneath one of these. There it is. There it is. So yeah, this is a tricky one to find because you could normally track them by the glow. However, as you can see, the glow isn't really prominent under here. But there it is. The alien blaster is in fact underneath one of the carriages. Underneath one of the wheels of the carriages. And, you know, just for reference, this is what it looks like under Raider Authority, and then that's what it looks like under Super Mutant Authority. The Raiders have certainly got a slightly more diverse living standard, I have to say, and probably slightly more hygienic than the Super Mutants with gore bags. But hey, there we go. So there it is, the large Metro diorama. Yeah, I am very proud of it. It is massive, as you can see. Takes up a large chunk of the workspace. And yeah, it took a long time, but I am very happy that it's done. And I have to say, it's probably one of my favourite dioramas. Probably even my most favourite diorama. But there it is. So I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.